Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Psalm 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand, until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn, and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful that got there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, just dealing with, two topics. First dealing with favor, all right, from Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, and rejoicing in the fight, okay, and dealing with favor, as a people, you see, we've had to go through the Lord's anger. Okay, matter of fact, let's start there. This is Isaiah 60. Okay, as a whole, collectively, as the nation of Israel, you look what happened to us as a people. All right, you look at slavery, the torture within the slavery. Okay, the post-trauma after slavery, all right, to the point to where our people, have such a mental illness that they glory and brag about destroying themselves. And all that is a result of the Lord's anger towards us, man. Okay, all this is a result, all right, of the Lord's wrath towards our disobedience. Okay, but now we're reaching, all right, we're transitioning into the Lord's favor, and when you read this in Isaiah 60, all right, and 10, it says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So we, before, because it speaks about these heathens being in captivity under us, okay? But that's part of the Lord's favor, you know, and that favor is going to be eternal, all right? But in his anger, what? He smote us, you see? And we're finna experience the Lord's favor, okay? Beginning with the elect, okay? We're going to see the Lord's favor pick up more and more as we get closer into these times of Jacob's trouble, okay? Because we're going to need that mercy and that favor to endure Jacob's trouble. So what's happening now is the Lord, you know, with the body, you know, you talk to brothers, you see, you know, you share stories and the things that, you know, we experience in real time. And what you see, that Lord, you see the pattern of what the Lord is doing is that he's, you know, pretty much throwing brothers through afflictions, but then he's delivering brothers, you know, and they're just the Lord showcasing the favor that he's going to have. It's like a preview of the favor that the Lord is going to have on us in Jacob's trouble, you know, because we're going to have to be delivered, you know, from circumstance after circumstance in these times, okay? You know, so we are the Lord pretty much has us getting used to him showing favor more and more, okay? Because we need to go into Jacob's trouble, all right, as Apostle, Elder Apostle Ariamla always goes into. We need to go into Jacob's trouble, all right, with some momentum, you know, fully persuaded and rooted in what we believe and fully trusting in the power and the mercy and the favor of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, you know. So let's go here. Cause it was a let me read this first. This is the book of Isaiah 54. All right. Start at 7. It says, matter of fact, I started at 4 and read in 2, Isaiah 54 and 4. It says, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither shalt thou be confounded. For thou shalt be put, all right, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. Okay? So, this is the Lord dealing with us as a woman that was put off, okay? Like a disobedient wife, okay? That was put away. You know, he's speaking from their perspective because that's a shame. Okay, pretty much the Lord beat his woman in public and put her out the house. You know, we got put out of Jerusalem. Okay, and he allowed, you know, Esau Edom to have his way with us, man. Okay, it was pretty much like a wife that was, you know, a disobedient wife that was discarded. You know, but now the Lord is drawing close, you know, to his woman again. Okay, see, we've dealt with being on the Lord's bad side. Okay, we've experienced that to the fullest. You know, and 2/3, all right, they're still in the process, all right, of dealing with the Lord's wrath, all right, leading all the way up to Jacob's trouble and to the nukes, man, the return of Yahushua. Okay, but for the elect, the Lord, you know, put the spirit on us to get in order, to start getting in order. You know, well, that's a continual process until we're changed. Now, read verse 5. It says, for thy maker is thy husband, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall he be called. Yeah, so the Lord, it said that he is thy husband, our husband. Okay, and what does a husband do? It guides, it protects, it provides. Okay, the roles of a husband. So what we're going to start to see increase is those husband-like duties of the Lord is going to increase on another level. Okay, so we're going to get more protection. Okay, we're going to have provisions, you know, when it's scarce. All right, we're going to be guided in these times that we're coming through. Okay, because we're transitioning into the Lord's favor. You see, verse 6, it says, "For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al Shai have called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou was refused, said thy power." And you read this in the NLT. All right, this is Isaiah 54:6. It said, "For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al Shai has called you back from your grief, as though ye were a young wife abandoned by her husband, says your power." Okay, and the things that were done to us, you can tell that we was a people forsaken, man. Okay, we was a people that was discarded, you know, and the Lord did that because of our disobedience. So you read verse 7, said, "For a brief moment I abandoned you, but with great compassion I will take you back. In a burst of anger I turned my face away for a little while, but with everlasting love I will have compassion on you, says the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, your power." So you look at what we've been through as a people, all right, which was horrific, but that was only a moment. But then the same power that took us through that is promised us everlasting compassion. So that's a just power, man. That's beyond just. Okay, because you can put a number on the years we've been in captivity. You know, even since we was a nation, if you add up all the captivities, all the heathen rulerships, you know, even going back to ancient Egypt, okay, through Assyria, Babylon, the times in Judges, going on with it, cool. Hey. You go to the Greeks, all right, the Romans, okay, you know, the current, you know, transatlantic slave. You add all that up, you can put a number on it, okay? But the everlasting compassion that the Lord is going to have on us, it can't be numbered. You see? So Jake, you know, feels some type of way. Well, what type of God would do this and do that? But then you don't understand the narrative of the story. You don't understand the end game. Okay? And he did that, all right, for a bigger purpose as well. You know, because we had to be chastened to be built a certain way. All right? Because we're being perfected in this suffering. Okay? Which leads to, all right, rejoicing in the fire. You know? Having that spirit of rejoicing in the fire, man. Okay? You see, this society, especially here in America, man, you know, the way Esau runs the earth, you know, he's pretty much through everyone in these cities to everyone is just over comfortable. You know, everything is over convenient. Okay? To the skills, all right, of people have diminished. Okay? And their dependency on this society, okay, has increased. And that's what this devil wants the masses of people. You know? And this is a society, you know, that's very feminine, you know, it's pretty much headed by a matriarch, you know, especially, you know, the tribes, okay, that's big into the woman worship. And what you notice about the people of this society, especially the tribes, you know, because even the so-called hardest nigga, all right, on the block, okay, that same nigga still, you know, is laid up in comfort, all right, at his auntie house, okay, his baby mama house, Okay? These niggas still have a life of comfort. You see? A lot of these guys, man. Okay? And as we get ready to go on the straight gate, another thing the Lord is preparing, the body for, okay, hey, is to be without. Learning how, to be moderate, moderation. Okay, because you have this term called less is more. Okay, and pretty much when you don't have a lot of ambition, a lot of desire and expectations, okay, you begin to be grateful of what you have, and you begin to develop a mindset of abundance of what you already got, because this is a society, where it's this rat race, to try to get the most money, to try to get, to live in a certain neighborhood and eat certain restaurants and certain vacations, okay? And people have, especially with social media, that people have all these unrealistic expectations to where they're always feeling as if they're not accomplished, comparing their life with other people's lives and, trying to duplicate and mimic, each other. And they're always feeling, unfulfilled, okay? Which brings on depression, okay? Which, not being grateful for the things that they do have, okay? And this is the society, that has been established, and this society has created very soft people, man, especially men, you see? And that's why when people feel any type of, discomfort, okay, that's why they, anxiety is at an all-time high, what you call people languishing, depression is at an all-time high, and it's at the slightest discomfort, okay? But Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, okay, is putting the spirit on his men, you see, to be moderate, man, and we're going to go into these things because what we have to understand, as men, because I was talking to a Jake today, and so I was dropping him and his children off this morning for school. He was taking the children to school. He was going back home. So we dropped the children off. I think it was like 5 children. And he was telling me, his little story. He pretty much moved down from, I think, Milwaukee, because he moved down here for a job. Okay, so when he had people down here already, so when he moved, his woman and the children down here, he put them up at his auntie house. Okay, and what he did when he got the job, okay, because they didn't have nowhere to stay, so he slept in the car, while they was over his auntie house. He was giving his auntie some, I'm sure, and he slept in the car, and he, grinded up, okay, to where he got them, apartment, on the decent side of town, you see. And he was telling me, he said, man, he said, shit, I could have really stayed in the car, but I got wife and children, so I had to get them somewhere to stay, and it made me think, like, damn, like, really, that comfort, comfort is for the women and children, man, because as men, it don't take much, okay? It don't take much, and men, all right, well, what people look at as suffering, men be in paradise, man. As long as men have a peace of mind, okay, everything else is extra. You see? Like all that comfort and, you know, like I say, that's really for women and children. You know, they really thrive off that, being comfortable. You see, but as men, you see, we can, you know, be at peace with the bare minimum. Okay, and having that, you know, what you call it, less is more mindset. Okay, creates an abundance in the mind. All right, because it creates appreciation for everything. You know, so as I was talking to Jake, as a Jake was like, I could have really stayed in the car. You know, he could have just been sleeping in the car. You know, because he's able to save a lot of money. Okay, well, I said he knew what he had to do. You know, for his women and children, of course. You know, but just show you the mindset, you know, of particular men. Okay, there's the mindset of a man. You know, which, you know, I say this society, you know, especially matriarch babies. Okay, they're addicted to comfort, and that's a dangerous place. And that destroys men. Too much comfort destroys men. You know, now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a certain level of comfort, you know, at times, you know, but as of late, man, you know, I fell in love, you know, with the suffering, man. You know, the you know, the intermittent fasting, not, you know, eating as much. Okay, the you know, not partaking in pleasures like that, man. You know, working out, you know, the grind, you know, getting up early. Like, you fall in love with these things, man, like the suffering aspect, you know, because you don't have to practice, you know, pleasure. You know, like when it comes to pleasure, you don't have to practice pleasure. You see, eating comfort food, dealing with a woman, okay, drinking, you know, you don't have to practice those things, okay? But we do have to practice discipline. We do have to practice restraint. We do, you know, have to practice, all right, you know, going without, you know. Those are things, and what these things do, because really, you know, working out, because it's not as we're working out, you know, to get this, you know, body, you know, so we can show off on Instagram, but it's a mindset thing, you know, constantly holding ourselves accountable, you know, constantly just putting ourselves, you know, through this rigorous, you know, training, okay? It's just a mindset thing, man, you know, and after a while, you know, you really fall in love, you know, with the suffering, man. Like, you know, people look at certain people routine and they figure out, well, how does he move like that? You know, and you don't feel in love with it, man. Because the feeling of not doing it is worse than the feeling of doing it. You know, the pain that it takes to do it. Like, you know, I will feel the disappointment, you know, that I will feel from not doing it is worse than the pain, you know, when you're doing the reps and, you know, you're waking up early. You see, you know, which that's uncomfortable. You see, like you really don't never get used to, you know, waking up that early. You know, sometimes before 4 o'clock. You know, you never really get used to that. Like every day, you know, you gotta grunt. You see, because I haven't even used an alarm clock, you know, in a while, maybe almost a year now. You know, so it's like really I'll just be, you know, so amped out doing it another day. You know, I just wake up. The Lord wake me up around that time every day, man. You know, and how I know it be time to wake up, man, when I, you know, look over there at that clock, you know, and I see, you know, it's 3:58, you know, it's 4:03 or whatever. It's the Lord, get your ass up, man. All right, it's that time. You see, and like I say, after a while, you know, we start to live for these things, man. Because like I say, we don't have to rehearse being comfortable. This is America, man. All right, the easiest thing to do in America is get comfortable. You know, step out, move around. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You know, I could move around with the best of them, you know. But now, as we begin to move in moderation, those things don't control us, man. Okay? And see, we're going to see how bad people are addicted to these comforts when they're snatched away. You know? So, I want to go here. I'm going to play this video. And then, you know, brother's probably been going in. I'm going to play this video that I got. And then I'll give some precepts. All right? Because see, this is what America, when you go into the term metrosexual, cue this video up. Get that word too. It's a fight. But when you go into metrosexual, what is a metrosexual? It says relating to or denoting men who live in urban areas and enjoy shopping, fashion, and similar interests traditionally associated with women, all right, or, all right, you know, sweet men, okay? And this is what America produces, especially amongst the tribes, all right, is these metrosexual men, okay? Nigga can tell you all about a shoe, you know, all about, you know, certain brands and shit, okay? Niggas get manicures and feet done every week, okay? Nigga got these hairstyles, these dreads, you know? Comfortable as hell, man. You see? And as a man, really the city is for women. You know? The city is really for women. You know, it's pretty much their getaway from their woman duties. Okay? While the city, what? It's full of daycares, restaurants, clothing stores. You see? All the daily duties of a woman, Esau turned into an industry. Okay? So, you know, a lot of men that grow up in these cities, man, they get that metrosexual spirit on them, man. Okay? Super comfortable. You know? Not really capable of anything, man. You see? And this is why Jacob's trouble. All right, here the Lord's finna bring the hardest time ever to the softest people ever, man. It's gonna be a hell of a collision. You see? So I wanna go here. Let me cue this video up. Still have it. Just watch a little. We're gonna watch a little bit of it. You know, we just seem like this some pretty good video. I gotta watch. Let's go here. Especially coming into, you know, the time that we're coming into now. Hold on, Will. Here we go. Especially coming to the time we're coming into now, man. You know, the day, the time of atonement. You know, this really will be a good time to do a hard reset. I'll just watch the video. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Okay. You know, this is the day of atonement. This would be a good time in the spirit, you know, to do a hard reset, man. Okay, speaking to you brothers, you know, this would be a very spiritual time, man, taking advantage, okay, of the Lord dealing, you know, on another frequency, man, you know, and really tap in, getting back to that desert, man, okay. The Lord, you know, He'll allow us to, you know, wind down a little bit every now and then, man, but, you know, as men, you know, we gotta really tap into, you know, that frequency, man. Okay, with Yahweh Shema Shai, and it comes with being isolated and separated, man. You know, so let's go here. I'm gonna play this. It says, "The less you want, the more you have." So I'm gonna play a little bit of this. You know, y'all let me know if the sound cool, and you know, we'll chime in.
Whether you're behind on your rent or your mortgage, or even temporarily unhoused, there is.
Imagine that we need $1 million to be happy. If that's the case, then as long as we don't reach this amount, we're unhappy. If we look at humanity's poverty and its small percentage of millionaires, we can conclude that happiness is scarce if it requires 7 figures in a bank account. Now, let's say that we deeply desire to be happy and feel incomplete as long as we don't reach this mental state. So far, we've managed to save $100,000, which might be a lot of money to most of us. But if we take the requirement of happiness we've set for ourselves into account, we are $900,000 in debt. It's not comfortable to be in debt, as it weighs heavily on our shoulders and implies a state of owing something, which, in this case, is a desire left unpaid. Only if we obtain what we want is this debt paid off. If what we need is scarce, it's challenging to get and easy to lose because everyone wants it. In our experience, then, happiness is in short supply. Suppose we let our life satisfaction depend on things challenging to obtain. In that case, we set ourselves up for stress, discontent, and insecurity. We tend to worry a lot about not having what we want, losing what we have, and the future not playing out as we desire. A much better alternative would be a minimalist mindset of abundance. If we experience no shortage in getting our needs met, we'll quickly achieve a state of contentment. And the quickest way to reach abundance is by downgrading our needs. The less you want, the more you have. And when we have plenty, we care less about gain and loss. We're less stressed about missing out and less fearful of change. This video delves into the benefits of being satisfied with little, how this leads to a more carefree life, and how we can experience abundance instead of scarcity through a minimalist mindset. When happiness is in short supply, we need to work hard to obtain it. The requirements for happiness we've decided for ourselves could be material possessions, money, high social status, a near-perfect partner, or perhaps a combination of these factors. Imagine slaving away endlessly to meet these requirements, while continually experiencing this nagging sense of dissatisfaction, because as long as our needs aren't satisfied, we're not happy. Imagine that we finally obtain our holy grail. We anxiously hold on to it, as losing what we've worked so hard for would mean the end of our happiness. What a demanding life that would be. The more specific our conditions for happiness are, the more difficult it becomes to be satisfied, especially when we've made our happiness dependent on outside circumstances that are incredibly fickle. Even the smallest of changes threaten the foundations of our well-being. An example of this would be a person who desires a quote-unquote perfect life, which entails a perfect house, perfect family, perfect job, perfect social circle, and the list goes on. Satisfaction requires all variables to be fulfilled. But if one of them isn't perfect, then this person's sense of happiness collapses like a house of cards. As the backwards law shows us, the more we need to be satisfied, the less satisfied we become. And the more we want, the less we feel we have. So the less we need from the world, the more we'll experience abundance. Abundance implies that we have more than enough. But what's enough? That's subjective. For some, it's never enough. For others, very little is enough. Also, our idea of what's enough tends to change over time. For example, when we're still in college, having enough money to buy food and going to parties tends to be enough. But when we're advanced in our careers, we could very well be dissatisfied with salaries that dwarf the income of most students. The good news is that we can change our perceptions of what's enough. And the less we need to have enough, the easier we're satisfied. We're also less distressed by the fickleness of the outside world, as a changing environment won't easily affect what's plentiful. Just look at the oceans. Despite all the changes our planet has gone through during the last 4 billion years, they're still around. Imagine...
I know you tripping with the 4 billion year. Okay. Earth ain't been around that long. Alright. So I'm gonna let it play a little more and we'll get some precepts.
Someone who is happy and fulfilled with the essentials, like clothing, food, shelter, and a few people to talk to now and then, online or offline. This person's satisfaction depends on abundant things and, thus, is easy to obtain. So it's tough to harm this person's contentment, because what's abundant will always be readily available, contrary to what's scarce. So the less we need, the stronger our position becomes. However, we can be without desire entirely. Having needs is part of being human. But we can manage our desires, so we dwell less frequently in a realm of scarcity and lack, and predominantly in the domain of abundance. As Epicurus once stated, if you want to make a man happy, add not unto his riches, but take away from his desires. End quote. Here are a couple of ways to channel our desires so that we can shift from scarcity to abundance. 1. The power of moderation. In a previous video, we've explored the philosophy of Epicurus in the context of minimalist living. Epicurus distinguished 3 kinds of desires: natural and necessary desires, like food, shelter, and rest; natural and unnecessary desires, like luxurious food and expensive clothing; and vain desires, like power, extreme wealth, and fame. In short, Epicurus believed that we should focus on the first, which are necessary and easy to satisfy, and avoid the latter, which are unnecessary and impossible to satisfy.
So, I say I'll stop it there. Let me see if I can share this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Let me go up. Oh. So yeah. So getting back to the point, you know, which you made a lot of points, and the main thing, you know, you touched on was that moderation. You know, because the more desire and expectation you have in this society, you know, the more, you know, we can set ourselves up for failure. You know, and he goes on to talk about gratitude as well. Okay, because You know, when you're not, thankful for what you got, okay, you feel entitled, to something more, and this sets us up for failure too, or feeling unaccomplished, man. But man, especially knowing we know in this truth, and these are all worldly perspectives, like we understand not only, that we enjoy the simplicity, but we understand that we got something greater on the back end, So there's no one that should be more content, with, daily bread, the necessities, okay, than a believer in Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Someone that's truly, in the faith. No one should be more content, all right, with the daily goodness of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. So let's get some precepts, okay? What's that? 1 Timothy, all right, 6. Come on now. See, did it go up? I don't think it did, so I did. All right, this is 1 Timothy chapter 6, okay? And verse 6, it says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Okay? And that's a thing of value unto us, man. Just the fact that the Lord is dealing. You see? The Lord is, we're being used to do this work. The Lord's allowed me to edify and be edified on a daily basis, man. Okay? To read and get revelations, man. All right? The Lord constantly showing his favor throughout the day, man. That's great gain. Because really, as long as the Lord, we really got to have a mindset, as long as the Lord keep us alive. Like, that should be our expectation, to keep us alive until Yahweh shall come back. Okay? Verse 7 says, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out, man. So there's no use of putting a lot of energy into this temporal situation. Now, every brother got, they different situation, different overheads, which might require, a little more than the next brother. Okay? But just generally speaking, we shouldn't, be over, consumed, okay, with the affairs of this world. All right, seeing that they're temporal. Okay, nothing is going to transition into the kingdom but these spirits. So our spiritual well-being, okay, should be a high priority, man. Okay, a very high priority, man. Our spiritual being should be at the top. Okay, because that's the only thing that's going to translate into those new bodies is these spirits. Okay, and the spirit doesn't care, all right, about status in this world. The earthly things, the things that, this world thrives off of, and, worships, and the spirit doesn't care about those things. The spirit doesn't care about a name brand. You see? There's egos in the flesh. So I should speak about the pride of life. Okay? Which we have, these earthly needs. You got to eat something. Okay? You got certain other needs that you have in this world that, we have to, maintain. But we should be in moderation with these things, no matter what it is, man. And every brother, moderation different. Okay? So it says, verse 8, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content, man. Having the basics, man. Bare minimum. Like, and really appreciating it, man. Because really, like I say, this, this extra comfortable always, being comforted, man, that's for women and children, man. As men, you know, we don't need that, man. Okay? Like, you gotta look at everything as extra, man. All right, and then that's like the brother put it up, you know, losing your edge. Let me see, the brother had put that up. Yep, this the brother, Quantum Waff, GMS prayer, always hopeful elect. It said, lose one edge to lose the skills, conviction, or energy that help make one assess before, man. And we can't lose that edge, man. You know, that's why the Lord constantly shake us up when we get too comfortable, man. Okay? We all guilty of it, man. Get too laid back, chilling, too goddamn hard. Start getting round, you know what I'm saying? You know? Chilling, buzzing on the drink all the time. You see? We all been there, man. Like Elza Hobbs say, getting into that Homer Simpson spirit, man. But nah, man, as a man, you know, like nah, we really gotta tap in to our element, man. Okay? We gotta be active more, man. We gotta be outside. You see? You gotta know, okay, be cool with going without. You know? Pushing ourselves, man. What are we capable of, man? You know? That's what we should be on, man. What else can I go without? How long can I go without this, man? You see? Can't be, you know, like I say, getting that Homer Simpson, Carl Winslow spirit, man. Okay? Or that metrosexual spirit, man. You know? Going here. It says, and having food and raiment, let us be there with content. Okay? It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and snare, into many foolish, hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Man, they're chasing. And that's one thing I'm learning, not to be chasing, man. You know? Because I'm one of those brothers that get up and go get it. But see, I had to be broken and get balanced with this thing. You know, because the common thing to do is when there's a shortage of resources is to go try to make more resources. Okay? To go try to chase and accumulate more resources, man. Go make something happen. Okay? But the Lord, you know, he'll put you in a jam to where you can't make nothing happen. Then, you know, you gotta start cutting things off. You see, you gotta start doing without, going without. Okay? So, in these times, all right, because we coming to a time to where it's just gonna be through the mercy of Yahweh by Shema Shai and miracles that we gonna make it through. Okay? There's a mindset, you know, of, you know, suffering. All right, and enduring to make it to that favor, man. You see, in order to make it to that favor, there's a suffering, man. There's an endurance. There's a you see, there's a thing of waiting, no patience. You know, and see, the Lord, he's showing that, hey, he gonna do it how he gonna do it. You know, have it to where none of your plans working. Hey, you just subjugated to waiting and suffering, man. Okay, that's why scripture say, don't make haste when thou art brought to a low state. Don't be impulsive. You know, don't be impulsive to get back to the comfort, man. Whatever condition that the Lord, you know, bring us in, man, we just endure. You know, do what we can. You know, that's another thing, like, focus on what we don't have control over. You know, really, those just be avenues that Satan will try to use to have us agitated. You know, because you can try to go to war over something that's, you know, beyond our control. and all it does is create, agitation, man. So really, it's like put emphasis on what we can control, man. The way we eat, the way we study, the way we work out, the way we can do lessons, man. Get quality sleep, like focus on those things as men. Okay? But there's a lot of things, that hey, we just don't have the control. It just is what it is. And trying to focus on the things you don't have control just create agitation. But as we tap into the things we do have control that the Lord, has ordained us to have control over, we get results, we get progress. You see? So it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's not money itself, because money is defense, but the love of it, to be obsessed with it. You see? And we all, had this to some degree to where, money, all right, income was the majority of, our thought process, man. Okay? But as we mature in this thing and we just have a mindset of surviving, and being thankful for the necessities, man, then like the Lord, He'll change your relationship with money, man. Have you to spend these lump sums and to the point you like your whole relationship, change with money as we grow in faith, as we grow in understanding, as we grow and being grateful and gratitude. Like our whole relationship with money changes, man. And like I say, really, you get the money, and when it comes to money, it be more so for the family. Okay? It be more so, for the family benefit. To make sure that they, because like I say, when you have, women and children, there's a certain level of comfort, that they have to, that you have to maintain. But as men, we operate on a whole different level, all right, of comfort, or the lack thereof. I said we should be able to operate, all right, in the level of uncomfort. And like I say, man, it's like you begin to like fall in love with the uncomfort, man, because you see the results, you see what it's producing. Because really, when you can operate in the uncomfort, it produces, all right, a mind that's in control, all right, that's more in control. I say there's people that are slave to women. There's people that are slave to alcohol. They're slave to food, slave to going out. Okay? They're a slave to social media and the internet. They're a slave to video games, man. Those things have full control over them. You see? But as we start to become more and more dead to this world, we get the power back. Because if we can't rule us, how can we rule the family? How can we rule, okay, with Yahweh? If we can't rule us, man, everything starts with us. Let's go here. As Apostle Peter said, not Apostle Paul, in 1 Corinthians 9. 1 Corinthians 9 and get to the point. 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. It says, know ye not that they which run, okay, in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. So you go here into temperate, but you go into the word in the Greek.
Strong's G 1467. Ekratuomai.
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 All right, which is it means to be self-controlled, continent, to exhibit self-government, conduct oneself temperately, man. Okay, to conduct one self-temperate, man, self-government. Okay? So everything begins with each brother overcoming ourselves, man. Those old lusts, each brother got different lusts, some brother, stronger desires, more vices than others or whatever, but the battle begins with overcoming it, before we can lead anything else, man. We have to continue to overcome us, so we're striving for incorruptible crowns. These niggas are highly disciplined, okay, to win a corruptible crown. Like Jake is, these certain elite athletes got these certain diets, certain, boxers refrain from, sex, okay, during big fights, okay, certain, workout regimens and running and conditioning, okay, to, be a decorated gladiator, okay, but we're in this thing to be eternal joint heirs with Yahushua, man. You see, there should be no one more motivated than a man that's called into this ministry and has a chance to be a joint heir with Yahushua. There should be no one more driven than us, man. We should be offended if someone is more driven in this world, okay, than we're driven, man. Okay? And it's a mindset, all right, because those men, a lot of those athletes, they go on what you call retreats to where they'll separate from their family, and go to a whole nother place just to train, So lock you real quick. Yeah, so lock it. But yeah, those men, they'll, separate from their family for months, just to get away and train. You see? For a corruptible crown. All right? Now, we know, of course, we can't do that. But the mindset, of being isolated, okay? That's why even the Apostle Paul said this, This is 1 Corinthians, all right, 7 and 30. Well, I started at 29. It said, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Okay? Because there's times in this faith, man, as men, we got to withdraw and tap in with Yahushua, man. Okay? Go on those spiritual retreats. Eat a certain way. Increase our reading. Going back to that desert man, increase our prayer. You see? Refrain, from this and that, refrain from drinking or whatever. You see, whatever vice that can be a hindrance. And really tap in, go on those spiritual retreats. You see? And it's for the benefit of the family. That's the thing. A man doesn't mind getting uncomfortable for his family to be comfortable. Okay? Because the fulfillment of being uncomfortable as a man is to understand the position that it's putting your family in. Okay? You know, this, like I say, this society, you know, with that BS, okay, romance, you know, tells men that unless they're all up under their woman all the time and, you know, all up under their children, you know, pretty much, you know, like a do-boy or a slave or a little pet, you know, to the family, then that man is not, you know, he doesn't love his family because he's not physically there. Okay? Nah, man. You know, men, just because they're not there every second, okay, it doesn't mean that he's not, you know, he doesn't care for his family. It's the exact opposite, man. Okay? If men, you know, make themselves uncomfortable, man, there are certain jobs where men make $50,000, $60,000 a year, but they could die. You know, like they work, you know, in the weather conditions, making $50,000, $60,000 a year, but they have to deal with the heat, the cold, okay, you know, the different dangers, the hazards, you know, on the job. Okay, for people to kick it and chill on the rooftop bars, and you know, women that work in these banks and hospitals. There's men, okay, they could possibly have gotten seriously hurt or died to make these things possible, man. Okay, the convenience of the city comes from men being uncomfortable, man. You look at how them skyscrapers was built, you know, back in the day. Okay, you look at the fatalities of construction workers, serious injuries of construction workers, man. Okay, the hazards of, you know, running electricity, and you see that's men being uncomfortable so everyone else can be comfortable in a society that doesn't appreciate men. And then that's another thing, like, to get to the point to where it's even beyond the appreciation. Like, that's something we're gonna get when Yahweh comes back, you know, true appreciation. You see? But reading on, like, we have to understand, like, as men, you know, especially as men of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're not like other men. Okay? The Lord requires more of us. So we're gonna be missing in action in certain situations, man. And then brothers got their different portions in the truth. So there's just gonna be times where we're missing in action, man. We can't be, okay, this great American, all right, family portrait. You see? Reading on, and it says, and they that wept as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. Yeah, and that's pretty much having no emotions, man. Okay, the things that most people care about, you know, hey, we don't, like, the Lord making us cold. That's another thing, man. You see, the Lord making us cold, man, to where, you know, the things that might be a big deal to people around us, man, like, we really, you know, we're unfazed by it, man. Like, we really, cause see, that's all energy, man. You know, it just it ain't a thing of just being no asshole. Just I don't have the energy for that shit, man. You know, like, nah, I can't even get emotionally involved in it. A lot of times, hey, we emotionally unavailable for the majority of things that's happening around us, man. Okay? But like I say, that can be draining. Because Satan is trying to use everything as leverage, man. But the more we dead to this world, the less leverage Satan has, man. Okay? Like, we want Satan to be reaching, man. Okay? We want Satan, to really have to work, to try to agitate us, man. You see? We gotta wake up on the offensive, man. you know? Back in verse 31, and it says, and they that use this world is not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. Yeah, the fashion of this world passes away. Okay, so we use this world. Like I say, it's cool. Go kick it, go hang out. I'm going on with it, man. You doing all right? It's cool, every now and then move around. The Lord knows we need to de-stress. It can't be one way, all the time, just bringing the balance to it. All right, but there should be a minimum compared to, us, being on the edge, man. You see, even when you eat a certain diet, man, it makes you kind of austere. You might do something, just, do a fruit cleanse, or, you see, you might, even deal with the detox, which that detox is bitter. It puts you in a certain spirit. It gives you a certain austerity, like certain diets, man. So going back to it, says, and they use this world. We use this world. We go get our little daily bread. And that's another thing. Like, let me go here. Because like I say, this society have us, chasing and always trying to, make a move, and you see, pretty much have you out here scheming all the time, man, on the come up. Okay? But then it get to the point, the scriptures say, force not the course of the river, to where, man, if it don't fall in my lap, it ain't meant for me, man. That's why I'm at with it. If it don't fall in my lap and it don't be an instant convenience for me, it ain't meant for me. Okay? Whether it come to making money, a woman, going on vacation, or whatever, going, on a trip, whatever, if it don't fall in my lap, it ain't for me. And I don't feel no type of way about it. Okay? And then I got everything. Like, my mindset, I got everything. I got more than enough for everything. I'm not lacking in anything, in anywhere. So it's like that chase, that chase is dead, man. And the Lord God to, if some do present itself, say, we get up and go get it now. That dog's still there, but he chilling. That dog's still in there, he chilling. And there's more towards this truth than anything, man. Be a workhorse for this ministry, man. You see? Let's go here. It's Rock 37. And what was it? Yeah, it says, be not, it's Rock 37 and 29. It says, be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. Okay? For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. By surfeiting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolong his life. And it's speaking of, meats and dainties, but ultimately going into pleasure, man. It's talking about, actual food, but those certain, foods are what? Comfort food for pleasure, those dainties, and it says surfeiting, because when you go to surfeiting, you look up that word, So fighting, what does it go into? Oh, that's a lot. This word surfeit. It says an excess amount of something, all right, to cause someone to desire more of something as a result of having consumed or done it to excess. Okay? And the scriptures say that the eye is never satisfied, man. You see? And a lot of this food is based off empty calories, man. Okay? So you're gaining weight, but you're not getting any nutrients. You see? So everything should have a moderation to it, man. The apostle said, I know how to be abound, I know how to abase, man. You know, so Apostle Paul said he know how to stay disciplined when he has a lot, you know, and he know how to be content when he don't have too much. You see? And whatever the Lord, at the end of the day, you know, we just got to operate in the day-to-day, you know, on a day-to-day basis, man, just winning the day. That's why it's good to try to win in the morning, you know, get up early, you know, probably do your workout if you can, or just do something, man, even though a few push-ups, pull-ups, you know, read, you know, get a lesson in or whatever. You know, it's good to win in the morning. You know, set the tone early. You know, consistency. You see? Because one thing about it, when it comes to pleasure, we don't have to be, you know, no one has to remind us when it comes to pleasure, to be consistent when it comes to pleasures. Okay? We don't have to be reminded to play the video game, or, you know, or to drink, you know, or to look at women, or whatever, you know, the vice is, you know, we don't have to be reminded. We ain't have to be reminded in the world, okay, to roll another blunt, okay? What time the club, you know, open, we ain't have to be reminded of those things, man. You see? And we should have that same fire, you know, when it comes to discipline, because discipline, okay, there's power. When I say discipline gives us back the power, you know, because we were powerless when we were living after our lust, man. Okay, all over the place. You know, when we had these ambitions, you know, we was a slave to those ambitions, man. Scheming and, you know, wanting to be that guy. You know, we were slaves to that. You see? But as we truly become dead in this world and alive in Yahushua, we have abundance, because we have all the wisdom we need to teach these lessons. You know, we have a network, you know, of brothers. Okay, we got abundance. You see? When it comes to health, look at all the wisdom that brothers have about health. We got abundance, man. You see? We have abundance, man, but if we have this mindset of increase, too much increase in this world, man, we'll take for granted the abundance that Yahushua has given us, man. You know? So let's go here, because Yahushua, guess we end it here. Let's go here. Yahushua spoke on it in Luke the 20, Luke the 21st. Yep. This is Luke 20, 21 and 33. It says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. All right. So this current rulership is fading out, and our rulership under Yahushua is phasing in. So Yahushua has us ahead of the curve, okay, preparing for the next rulership. Okay? And that's why pretty much we're just maintaining what we got, doing just enough to maintain what we got. And some things we completely forsake, man. You know? Some things that it is what it is now at this point. Okay? And that's something I have to, learn. Just let things play out. The Lord got it. And certain things you just gotta let play out. You know? That's a going to self-examination, making sure that, like I said, we're not overly concerned in things that don't even matter. You know? Verse 34 says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with fighting, the excess, and drunkenness, okay, and the cares of this life, so that day come upon you unaware. You know, and that's another thing I noticed too. The more we separate, it's like we pick up on everything in the spirit. You know? Like we're really beginning to operate on another frequency, man. The more we separate in this society, the more we pick up on everything in the spirit. You know? Certain dreams and, because the more we disconnect from this world, okay? The more we disconnect from this world, the more Yahweh can deal. You know? One thing, just like a man, he wants his wife undivided attention. Okay? So, with Yahweh as his men, the more, we'll give him that undivided attention, the more he show us, the more he deal. You know? And that's the increase I'm obsessed with now, man. Okay? Because it don't take a lot of money for me to kick it neither, man. Even when, I do kick it, it don't take a lot. You know? Shit, we... Alright? Yeah, we come from the dust. Alright? So we know how to be, what you call it, what's the word? It's just on the tip of my tongue. You know? Pretty much when you can, make the most out of, out of nothing. You see, get creative, because that's one thing too. There's really, as a man, when you have to do a lot with a little, they really bring out certain skills, and like I say, they bring that dog at you. When you have to do a lot with a little, makes you ingenuitive. You see, this the brother hey, Shalom Zakon, Yahabashim Al-Shah, Bashim Krakadash, Brakatah. Let me get some of you brothers' precepts. This is see if the brother got some. This is Colossians 3:3. Alright, this is the brother fear Yahweh Shah. For you are dead, and your life is hid in Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. When Yahweh Shah, who is our life, alright, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Okay? So when Yahweh Shah, comes back, we're gonna get the accolades. Okay? We're gonna get the fame. We're gonna get the wealth. True wealth, man. Okay? Because this is not even real wealth that people, worship. Okay? It's a delusional wealth. You see? The fact that someone can manipulate your wealth is not true wealth. Here it is. So if you make $25 an hour and inflation goes up 4%, well, you're not even making the same 24 hour, $24, $25 an hour that you made last month. Okay? So it's a delusion of power. Okay? We and that's another thing. We should be obsessed with getting power, man. Okay? As Israelite men, we should be obsessed with power. Okay? That through power you get everything, man. You take what you want. Things come to you when you got power. Okay? You see? So let's read some more. Alright, this is the brother Yahweh Shai is coming back. Alright, brother El Kazak, Shalom, bro. This 2nd Ezra 2:36, it says, flee the shadow of this world, receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly. Yeah, man. The shadow, the image of this world. Okay? Really tapping back into being men. Another thing is men, like, we can't base, you know, like I say, our happiness, okay, on nothing outside of Yahweh Shai. You know? Because one thing I know, people will disappoint. You see? I disappoint. You know? So we really can't base our happiness or joy. I don't say that word, happy. But our joy, that inward joy, it can't be based on nothing outside of Yahweh Shai. Everything else, it is what it is. You see? When we put expectations on everything, that's where the disappointment comes from. You know? When we put all these expectations on people and certain things, then that's where the disappointment comes from, man. Okay? And as men, you have, especially living with someone, you have a particular standard, but we can't get too carried away with our expectations of anything outside of Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? This is Philippians 4:5. It said, let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Yeah. Hey, we're being moderate because we know what's to come. We good. We not tripping. If we believe in the promises of Yahweh Shai, we not tripping. We good. You see, we don't need to holler at every Eve. They look a certain way to us. You see, we don't have to run ourselves raggedy trying to be rich and get clout. No, we got. How y'all doing, man? We got everything coming. You see? You think Jeff Bezos, I don't know if he got children or not. Them weird ass Edomites be billionaires with no children. But you think, his children, you think they scheming all day, trying to figure out, how to get rich? No, they understand what they got coming. They chilling. Okay, you part of the Walton family, the family that own Walmart. Okay, them people chilling. They ain't gotta, go to the club all the time and you see, all of the award shows. Them folks ain't studying that shit, man. They understand what they got coming. Okay, so we really believe in these promises, man, and we understand what we got coming. Shit, we chilling. We ain't tripping. We don't care about none of it. We don't care who leave, who stay. Shit. We ain't got started yet. You see? You don't care about who changed, none of that shit. Betrayal is gonna happen. Okay, the shit gonna happen. You see? Because it's prophesied to happen. But at the end of the day, you know, as we truly believe on that promise, man, you know, like we really just need to survive until your house shot, man. You know, and let the Lord bless how He gonna bless. You know, make the adjustment when the affliction come, and just keep and keep doubling down on the things we got control over, man. You know, the things that He set in our control, keep doubling down on it. You know, and let Him sort out everything else, man. Because we got to get out of His way too, man. You know, I know I'm guilty of that. Trying to do too much, trying to be too hands-on with certain things, man. You know. So the thing is just double down on what the Lord gave us power over. You know, hey, be grateful for the simple things, the essentials. All right, and let our expectation be, all right, in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, man, and these promises, man. You know, so that's the point. All right, Lord will, you know, you brothers and you sisters edified till the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, soon. Shalom.